Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Happy September 11th. Can you believe it? We're almost at the middle of September. That is just amazing to me. Just crazy how the time goes by. I started doing these streams during the summer when it was hot out, and some of you were out for vacation or things like that, but now we're back to school. And now we're, just kind of going into the fall season. I think most of us are experiencing cooler temperatures now around the world. Crazy. It's just crazy how time flies. And also, I couldn't have today's stream without mentioning September 11th, which is obviously a significant date for most of us here in the US and other parts of the world. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge that. Given that I have worked in the financial industry and I just moved back from New York, I know how significant September 11th is for people around the world. So I just wanted to acknowledge that for anybody who's observing the date. But it's really good to see all of you. I'm really grateful to be able to spend the time with you. Today, we're going to do something a little bit differently. The beauty of owning your own live stream is that you can do whatever you want, right? So sometimes I like being spontaneous. I like just coming up with things and just trying different things and just seeing where things go, right? And sometimes I just decide today I just decided I want to do something different. I just decided that this morning. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over a data science study, a survey that I actually did. So I want to do this for two reasons. One, I want to show you guys how I do my studies, how my studies, kind of come to life. And the purpose behind that is not just to teach that, but also to show you guys that I still follow my own advice. No one's paying me for these studies, but I do them anyways, because that's what a scientist does, right? So just as I encourage you guys, to do the data science on your own, don't wait for somebody to come along and appoint you. I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it. And then on top of that, I think that I got a lot of really interesting replies from the survey. So, let's get some back and forth. Give me your thoughts. How do you see the results that I got from the survey? Maybe you see things differently than the way I see them, but I'd love to share those results with all of you and see what happens. But yeah, so that's the point for today. But I still want to start off with our global roll call. So for those of you that are new, when we do have a lot of new people, I'm still averaging about 1,000 people a day on YouTube, which is amazing. I will be at 10,000 later today. Blows my mind. Please let us know your city, state, province, country, whatever else you'd like. If you'd like to say that you're a student, whether you're a working professional, whatever else you'd like, share. You don't have to overshare. Don't share anything you're not comfortable with. Just let us know. Just let us know, what you're up to and where you're from. It helps to build the community. It helps people, be involved. So that's why we do it. We're a growing community, which I'm, truly grateful for all of you being here. So it's just a good of the introductions already. So you know what? I'm just going to jump right into it because I want to do our global roll call like we usually do. And then I want to go ahead and go into the study. I'm gonna bring up my my screen and I'm gonna show you guys the study on the screen. All right. So first today, our good friend Yassine. Hello, sir, Yassine from Tangier, Morocco. Yassine, such a great supporter. Really appreciate your support, Yassine. You're here virtually every day. Yassine, let us know how your classes are going. I think your classes are probably underway by now. Let us know how they're going, okay? Rex, our good friend from New York City, says it's a beautiful day in New York City. Good morning, everyone. Well, good morning, Rex. Good to see you. And you know what? On September 11th, New York City deserves a beautiful day. So hope everyone is well out there in that part of the world, and particularly in New York City today. Joseph says, good morning, Dennis and everyone from Tennessee. Good morning, Joseph. Thanks for being here. Both Joseph and Rex are two of my volunteer moderators. So, when you see them around, please give them a thanks. They really help me out here. Rohit says, hello, everyone. How are you? Hey, Rohit, how are you? Remind me where you're from, Rohit. I can't quite remember. I know it's not your first time, but let us know. Is it Sumaya? I think it's Sumaya. Hi, I'm an upcoming sophomore at Drexel studying computer science. I'm planning to switch my major to data science. Is that a good step? From what I've heard, data science is growing. You're asking two questions there. Is data science growing, and should you switch your major? Is data science growing? Yes, absolutely. Should you switch your major? Should you? Oh my gosh, I can't talk this morning. Should you switch your major? Maybe, maybe not. Don't do things because, the field is growing. Do things because you want to, because you love it, because there's a passion behind it, right? I think this is your first time, so you should know that I'm very big. And one of the things I stress in my content is following your passions. There was a reason why you chose computer science, right? If those reasons are still valid today, then why are you switching? Right? No need to. So, do something because you're passionate about it, because you want to do it. You want to create a mastery in it, right? So why did you study computer science? Right? So keep that in mind, right? In another example I've given in the past, but I'll give it again for the new people. I mean, to me, this is a losing strategy, Samaya. I mean, if you want the next boom, you should switch to geriatric care, right? I mean, geriatric care is the next big boom across the world. Like, I envision a time like in 5 to 10 years where there's going to be countries begging people to come move, who have any elderly care skills, right? Like Italy is going to be throwing visas at people to come to their country, right? Japan, same thing, right? If you want a boom, go into that. Right? Don't go into data science. So don't chase booms, guys. Chase your passions. Chase what you want to do. All right. Rohit says, good evening from Bangalore, Karnataka. Okay, Rohit, that's right. You're from Bangalore. That's right. Because I think I asked you about how you pronounce it. But yeah, okay. Where is the 10K wine? So for those of you that don't know, Rohit's referring to our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, the link is in your chat. I had posted a picture of this beautiful, beautiful bottle of 20-year-old single malt whiskey. It's a Glenfiddich that I bought. Glenfiddich did a collaboration with Mr. Porter. I've had that bottle maybe like 5 years now, something like that. Yeah, like 5 years now. It was a special collaboration they did. Only 1,500 bottles were ever made, and it's this nice box. It was one of those things where you had to like pay and then to enter the lottery, and then I fortunately won the lottery, and I got a bottle. But I was thinking of opening that for 10K because it's still unopened. I haven't touched it, and it's a 20-year-old, so it's going to taste good. But somebody said no, you got to save that for 100K. So Rohit, I don't know if I'm going to open it today. I might not open. The advice I was given from the chat in Discord was it's got to be for 100K. Apparently 10K is not good enough for a 20-year-old. So, we'll see. We'll see. Tahur, let us know where you're from, okay? Rohan says, good morning, Dennis and all. Rohan from Visaginia. Rohan, our good friend. I don't think you've missed a day in a while, Rohan. Thank you so much for being such a consistent supporter. Really, really appreciate, when I see people coming back, it gives me just a little bit of encouragement of maybe I'm on the right track, so really appreciate you, Rohan. Ranjat says, good morning, Dennis. Hey, Ranjat, how are you? I know it's not your first time, but remind me where you're from. I can't quite remember, but I know it's not your first time, so thanks for coming back. Yassine says, thank you, sir. They are going well till now. I'm lucky that currently all my final sessions of the day are right before your stream. All right, cool. A very important lesson here, guys. Always schedule your entire day around my stream. You see what Yassine's doing there? He scheduled his entire day just so that he would still be available for my stream. Good man, Yassine. Thanks so much for that. Ilyas Harash, let us know where you're from, okay? Sarvesh, our good friend Sarvesh says, good morning to you, Dennis. Sarvesh here from Mumbai, India. Nice, Sarvesh. Good to see you. I know you've been a consistent supporter. Thanks so much. Hope you're doing well out there in Mumbai. Ranjat says, I am from India. Yes, but what part of India? India is such a massive country. You guys have like what, like 1.1 billion people now? You can't just say India. You gotta tell me where, north, south, coastal, inland. I hear that the northern side is quite, quite mountainous. Are you from the mountain side? You gotta let us know. Onur, welcome. I think it's your first time. Let us know where you're from, Onur. Manvish, welcome. Good evening, guys, from Chennai, India. We don't get a lot of people from Chennai. We get plenty of viewers from India. India is my second biggest country in my analytics. But yeah, Manvish, I think it's your first time, so welcome. Ranjat says they are from Chandigarh. Chandigarh. I don't think I know where that is. You know what, guys? I need to review my India geography because there's so many of you now from different parts of India that I don't know. I've had staff in Bangalore, I've had staff in Mumbai, but some of these other places, I don't quite know. Asin 113. Let us know where you're from, okay? Elias, let us know where you're from now. Please. And Islamic Book Nerd says, I am from Lucknow, India. Okay, cool. I'm not sure I know that either. Geez, I'm gonna brush up on my India geography. You guys watch. I'm gonna do some self-study on that. Manvish says, yes, I've been following you on YouTube. Yes, I'm following you on Instagram, but this is my first time attending the YouTube live. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. I am definitely doing my best to try to grow on both platforms. YouTube is obviously more convenient for the long form content and for the lives in many ways. I like the Instagram lives, but I think they could improve on a couple things. But yeah, welcome. I love doing the Instagram content, but what I really love the most is the lives because I like interacting with all of you. And, and I'm comfortable saying that I'm the first and only live daily data science stream out there, A lot of these influencers, they really can't do, these experts, they can't do these live streams. So that's why I'm bringing it to you guys, trying to, bring you guys, good content, real world stuff, right? So thanks for being here, Manvish. Damilair says, good morning, Dennis. You're definitely on the right track. We appreciate what you do. Thank you so much, my good friend from Wales. Thank you so much, Damilair. Thanks for saying that. Ashin says they are from Pakistan, Islamabad. Nice. Welcome. I think it's Asin. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing that. I think it's Asin. I keep on saying Ashin. Well, thanks for being here. Asin asks, which field is not replaced by AI in the future? None of them. But that's okay, right? That's okay. The key is to roll with the punches and modify your workflow, right? And by the way, we're going to talk about that because I ask about jobs in my AI survey, so stay tuned for that. But the question is not which field should I go into so that I cannot be replaced by AI. That's the wrong question. The question is, how can I modify my skills now and prepare now for the fact that I will be using AI, right? That's really the question all of us should be asking ourselves. Look, people being replaced by AI in industries is not unprecedented. Look at the trading industry, in financial industries. Traders no longer make their own individual decisions. It's all algorithmic driven, right? If you go to a large firm, really any firm, they are either one, babysitting algorithms that are making all trading decisions, or two, they're working at direction of algorithms. They themselves, the traders, are making very, very few decisions on their own, right? So this isn't unprecedented, right? This isn't something to be feared. So Asin, I would ask you to kind of shift your mindset there. It's not what can I do to avoid being replaced AI. It's how can I work with AI in the future. That's the real question. Okay. Ilya says, I am from Algeria. Cool. Welcome. Lots of Northern Africa in my viewership. Dinah says they are from Egypt. Cool. Also Northern Africa. Lots of people from there. Awesome. Oh, Noor, I think you're new, so welcome. I've been following your content. I'm a 21-year-old living in Turkey. Cool. Working in the field of data science. Soon I'll be creating quality content just like you. Hey, we need more people. So yeah, welcome, Noor. Glad to see you here. Let me see if I missed any more introductions. So Salunke says, hey Dennis, hey, welcome. Let us know where you're from, Salunke. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other of the introduction. Manoj, our good friend Manoj. Good morning, Dennis and all. Manoj from Bangalore, India. Welcome, Manoj. Such a great supporter. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well out there in Bangalore. Lots of good tech happening in Bangalore, right? Bhuvan, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Bhuvan? Says, hey Dennis, I'm from Delhi, India. Welcome, Bhuvan. I think it's your first time. I don't recognize the name, so thank you so much for being here. Salunka says that they are from Pune, India. Welcome, Salunka. They also ask, hello Dennis, doing my master's in CS right now. Feeling a bit burnt out and demotivated. Yeah, computer science will do that to you. Hey guys, please don't spam my chat. I think I have a YouTube. I think Joseph will take care of that. But guys, please don't spam my chat. It screws up all my messages on my end, and it's really unprofessional, guys. You know, I like to think that I bring a professional mindset to my streams. You know, because the tone starts from the top, right? If I act professionally, you guys will act professionally too, right? So please, you know, let's act in a professional manner in the chat. Spamming my chat is really not the way to go about that, all right, guys? But yeah, let's go back to Salunke. Doing my master's in computer science, feeling a bit burnt out, demotivated. Okay, well, why? Like, there's a reason why you chose computer science, right? Like, you know, when I've had a couple people approach me like this, you know, about burnout or regrets or like a career crisis or whatever, right? And the answer to that is that, you know, there's reasons why you went into that, right? Like there's reasons why you chose that. So maybe like you need to take the time to reflect and figure out if that's what you really want to be doing or not. Right? I mean, to me, I kind of hit that same point where I was a software developer for a long time. And that wasn't so much burnout. It was more that I felt like I accomplished everything, you know, because I was a .NET guy for a long time. And I did everything you can mention in .NET. Web pages, services, consoles, everything. And in multiple languages. I knew C#, VB.NET, you know, so ASP.NET. So, you know, I felt more like I had accomplished everything. So that's when I took the time to do some self-reflection. Mastery by Robert Greene, as I keep on coming back to, right? If you guys are new today, I recommend the book Mastery by Robert Greene. It's a book that helps you understand what your passions in life are and what it takes to dedicate yourself to those passions and develop that mastery, right? Because just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean you're ready to work in that field, right? So to me, that's what I would advise you. You know, I would take the time to reflect, you know, whether you buy the book or not, you know, do your own reflection. Everybody has their own methods, right? I didn't write that book. I don't make anything from it. But take the time to do that self-reflection and figure out what it is exactly you want to do, right? Because there's something obviously inside of you that's saying, well, you know, maybe this isn't the right path, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe your path isn't even in tech for all you know. Maybe you want to, I don't know, maybe you want to, you know, run a bakery or something, you know, or create stuff on Etsy. I don't know, right? But it's going to be up to you to figure that out. That's the only way you're really going to prevent that type of burnout or get yourself out of that burnout, right? But otherwise, there's really no magic pill that I or anybody else can give you. It's kind of a personal thing, right? It's like a personal decision, right? So think about that, right? But I think this sounds like it's time for self-reflection. Okay. Manoj says, yes, sir. Lots of tech here. Yeah, definitely a lot of tech in. Was it Bangalore? Yeah, in Bangalore. Absolutely. I've had staff in Bangalore before. Gamudisa, welcome. I think you were here yesterday, weren't you? Hi, Dennis. I'm from Tunisia, North Africa. Nice. Is there anybody in the chat that's not from Northern Africa? Previously, we've had a lot of Moroccans in my chat, and now there's going to be a lot of Northern Africans in my chat, which makes sense, right? We've talked about this. If you look at the birth rates, right? I'm not an Elon Musk fan, but I think he's right about tracking, birth rates, because I think that is a threat to humanity. If you look at global birth rates, North Africa is one of the few regions in the world that's actually doing pretty good when it comes to birth rates, right? Most countries in Northern Africa are actually pretty strong. In most parts of Africa too. I think South Africa and Southern Africa as a continent overall isn't doing so great. But it makes sense that in Northern Africa, there's going to be a little bit of more of a younger population. So Asen says, which computer field is best to select? I am new in computer science and feel like programming is hard for me. Okay, I feel your pain. Getting started in programming can be difficult. It really also depends on your instructors, right? Your instructors make a huge difference in your experience in learning programming. What language are you learning? That also makes a massive difference. Asen, in the comments, let me know what language you're learning, because that makes a huge difference. I'm going to take a wild guess and say they're teaching you Java, because most computer science programs do that. But let me know. Tuhor says, you are not responding, so I thought you are not getting my message. Guys, to everybody in the chat, if your message appears in your local platform, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, if it appears there, then it's going to appear on my software. But please, have the self-awareness, right? Have the awareness to read the room and realize that I'm getting a lot of messages. You're not the only person in the chat, right? So I will do my best to get to your message, but the answer to that is not to spam. It makes you look unprofessional, and it makes it a lot less likely that I'm going to help you. All right, but let's please keep things here professional, because if we're data scientists, we should treat each other as scientists, right? And spamming the chat doesn't make you look professional. And and like I said, this is why I have moderators. So it just doesn't make you look good all around, guys. So I know most people don't spam the chat, so I appreciate that of you. But for those of you that do, read the room, have some self-awareness, have some professionalism. Is it hi Dennis, is it Hitcham from Morocco? It's my first time here. Could you please tell me the main points of your discussion? Well, what part of Morocco? Morocco is a big and diverse country. You can't just say Morocco, right? Main points of this discussion? The account name says it all. Data Science with Dennis. I'm Dennis, and we discuss data science. That's all there is to it. And we do it live because it's fun for me, and because you're not going to find really any other data science experts that can do this. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys. I'm just here to give you guys my real world view. All right. So Ilya says, any advice for me, Dennis? I shoot myself in the foot accepting a project well above my skills, and now the deadline is approaching and I don't know what to do. I am a software engineer and the project is pure cybersecurity. No, I mean, there's really nothing I can help you with. One of the things that I believe in, and that I've told you guys, here on my streams, is that I stay in my lane. If you guys ask me something that I don't know, I'll tell you that, and I won't speak to it because I'm not an expert on it. I'm trying to give you my best expertise, right? That should also carry over into the work you do and the clients you work with. If you can't help your client, you are helping them best by saying, I want to work with you. I still want to be your advisor, but this is not something that's within the scope of my knowledge, so I'm going to take a pass on this project. It is totally okay to say that. Your clients will respect you 10 times more if you take that attitude, because you're being honest and it's the professional thing to do, right? Do not, whatever you guys do in your careers, whether it's data science, cybersecurity, software engineering, anything else, anything, right? Do not fall for the trap of fake it till you make it. That is, sorry, but that's dumb, right? It's dumb, it costs you money, and more importantly, it costs you your reputation. Your reputation is very important as a scientist and as a consultant. So, Ilyas, I'm sorry, but the only thing I can really tell you is don't do that to yourself in the future. But where you stand now, there's really no helping that, right? I mean, like you're up against a deadline. You knew that the project was not in your in your lane, right? You're a software engineer, not a cybersecurity specialist. So, I mean, there's really nothing that can, there's no magic bullet right now, right? I can't wave a magic wand and help you. Nobody can, right? I mean, the best you can hope for right now is to be honest with your client as soon as possible and tell them you won't be able to deliver. You're going to take a hit to your reputation because they're going to tell you, well, why didn't you tell me this before? Right? And maybe you'll have to return some money or some deposits or whatever. But like, what I'm seeing in this message is the result of fake it till you make it. And there's no bailout for that. That's why you're not supposed to do that. Right? So, good luck to you. Be honest with your client, but stay in your lane, guys. If something's not in your skill set, say so. I guarantee you your clients will respect you 10 times more when you do that. I've had to do that, because I get cybersecurity questions all the time. Or I get like server administration questions all the time, or storage questions, stuff that, I kind of sort of know, but I'm not going to fake it. I'm just going to tell them, look, that's not really what I do. If you have a data science project, I'm happy to help you and I'll give you the best help possible, but I don't do security. That's brought me clients back because then they know that, you're being honest with them, right? So good luck to you, Elias. W Tangui, I think it's your first time, so welcome here from the Boston area, USA. Very cool, very cool. Boston's so expensive though. I would love to go out there, but it's so expensive to live there. I got a job offer in Boston once I had to turn down. Rahul Rahendra? Hello, sir. Hey, Rahul, how are you? Let us know where you're from, okay? Rohit says, just a fact, the Tirupati Balaji Temple in India attracts 75,000 pilgrims every day, making it one of the most visited pilgrimage sites in the world, and it is 2,000 years old, and it is so well planned. Very cool. 75,000 pilgrims every day? That's a lot of people, isn't it? Wow, that's huge, man. I didn't know that. 70, well, first of all, I want a source on that, right? A data scientist validates their sources, right? So I want a source on that. And two, I'm trying to think if there's other sites that would attract that number on a daily basis. What about the Vatican? I think the Vatican might be approaching that, right? What else would do that? 75,000 people a day. Now you said 75,000 pilgrims, but what if we went 75,000 tourists? I bet we could come up with places that have 75,000 tourists. I'm thinking the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower probably gets 75,000 tourists a day. I've been there. That thing is busy. That's a lot of people though. So thanks for sharing that. That's interesting. Charles Mrope here from Tanzania, East Africa, business analytics student. Wonderful. I love your introduction. Thanks for letting us know about you. I think it's your first time, so welcome. But good to see you here. Rahul says, hello, sir. Rahul from India. Cool. So Asen says they are teaching you Python. They're teaching you Python, really, in your computer science program. And Asen had previously expressed that they were having trouble with it. Interesting. I don't know, Asen. I gotta tell you, as programming languages go, Python is a pretty good one to start with. You know, like it's fairly intuitive to understand. If you had told me you were starting with Java or C++, then, you know, I can see why you're having a lot of trouble with that, right? But Python, I don't know. Maybe it's time for some reflection here, but Python should be fairly manageable to pick up. I'm going to think about your question, Asen. Because, you know, like I said, on the one hand, I sympathize with you. Programming can be difficult. Your instructor makes a big difference. But if you're learning in Python, I don't know. Let me think about that. Gamudisa says, yes, I was here yesterday. Glad you remember it. Well, you know, that's another reason why I ask people to introduce themselves, because I'm pretty good at remembering people. I've always had a fairly strong memory, you know, especially when it comes to people and places. You know, for some reason, like my mind just works that way. But yeah, you know, glad to see that you're here, Gamudisa. Thanks for coming back. Really appreciate when people come back. You know, lets you know I'm on the right track. Tito, let us know where you're from, okay? Rohit says, lots of prediction and planning involved, and it's so cool that it's 2,000 years old and still working. Yeah, that's pretty old. 2,000 years old, and 2,000 years old is getting out there for sure. Akash, let us know where you're from, okay? Rahul says, in India, there is a big difference in terms of salary when compared to other countries. So to which country should I shift if I have 1 year of experience? So, you know, as most of you guys know, I'm really not an advocate of chasing the money, right? Chase data science because you want to do data science, right? Like, there's a massive difference to me, right? The way I view things, there's a massive difference between asking, well, what country should I move to that's going to pay me more money after a year of experience? Versus what country can I move to that has companies that have interesting projects, or you know, that would let me focus more on NLP, or that would let me do more work with neural networks or something, right? So Rahul, my friend, don't chase money, chase what you want to do. And what you want to do may or may not be in another country. Maybe it may be within India. Who knows, right? I mean, India has its own economy, its own companies, right? So yeah, I mean, I just have, I got to be honest with you guys. I have trouble helping people with these questions, right? Because I don't think that chasing money is going to lead you to, you know, your passion and ultimately happiness in your life, right? You know, I think 2 days ago, somebody asked me about, you know, life advice I would give. And that's one of the things that somebody told to me, right? Never do things for money. I did that once in my career and I completely regretted it. You know, it was good advice that I didn't take. So in turn, I want to pass that on to all of you. I mean, don't uplift your family and your roots and be away from your loved ones just because they pay more in another country. That's not, you know, that's not really a sustainable life plan. Right? So think about that, Rahul, okay? General John Stones, let us know where you're from, okay? I think it's your first time, so welcome, but let us know where you're from, please. Bhuvan, Bhuvan, remind me where you're from. I don't think this is your first time. Remind me where you're from. Ilyas is going to suggest the holy Mecca. Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Ilyas. But my understanding is that that area is also very seasonal, right? Like the post-Ramadan period is when Mecca really spikes, right? I mean, I understand that there's other pilgrimage that happens throughout the year, right? I mean, there's the Hajj and then there's another one, right? I can't remember what the other one is called. Like, like during the non-Hajj period, right? But I don't think during the non-Hajj period they get like 75,000 like on a daily basis. I don't know. I mean, they're probably close, but I think there's a lot of seasonality to Mecca, right? But again, that's me. That's the data scientist, right? A data scientist always considers seasonality, right? But maybe somebody else in the chat knows better than that, right? Because I'm sure we have a Muslim population in my chat, so let me know about that. But Mecca has 75,000 pilgrims on a daily basis. I don't know if I'm comfortable saying that one. It's high, but probably not 75,000. I'm Shilpa from Manitoba, Canada, and a data analyst looking for a job right now. Welcome, Shilpa. I think it's your first time. Welcome. So Shilpa, you and I have something in common. I was also in Manitoba. I lived in Manitoba for like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. So when I think of Manitoba, I always think of Winnipeg. Like, is there anything else in Manitoba besides Winnipeg? Like, I know there's cottages and the lakes up north are beautiful. I get that. But whenever somebody says that they're from Manitoba, it's like, oh, okay, you really mean that you're from Winnipeg, right? So let me know if I'm right on that, Shilpa, but welcome. T-Tall says, I'm in the USA East Coast. Well, what part of the East Coast? The East Coast is big. Are you undercover or something? I mean, you got to let us know, okay? Shilpa says, yes, I too live in Winnipeg. Yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, if you ever look on a map of Canada, right, and you look at Manitoba, like there's basically just one city in the entire, what is it, state? What do they call them? State or provinces? In the entire state of Manitoba, there is just one city, and it's called Winnipeg, and it's a big city. I think it's one of the bigger cities in Canada, right? But whenever somebody says they're from Manitoba, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you really mean that you're from Winnipeg. I get it. Creature of Hobbit says, hello, I'm from Lille, France. Okay, welcome back. I know you've been here before, so welcome back. If your current job experience is in data integrations, feeds, reporting, and data science is a long-term goal, where do you recommend going from here? College, etc.? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you're, if you feel strong about your data integrations and you like your data handling skills, then your next goal should be to learn modeling, because that's kind of like the big separator between like a engineer, analyst to data scientist, right? Data scientist knows a lot of modeling. You need to go to school for that? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't hurt, but I don't see it as a requirement per se. But I mean, that's what you would be missing from like your resume or from your interviews, right? Like if I'm a hiring manager, that's my biggest doubt of you, right? Okay, well I see a lot of data experience on here, but can you model, right? So that's what I would say is like the gap in your resume, that you'd have to show that you have modeling skills. So keep that in mind, Lily. Oh no, Lily's your city. Sorry, a creature hobbit. Keep that in mind, that's going to be your biggest challenge. How do you demonstrate that you also have modeling skills? That would be the biggest thing that I would focus on for you. So is college a requirement for that? Doesn't hurt, right? And I'm never going to poo-poo college. College is a valuable experience beyond the classes, right? Like college itself is a good experience. But I wouldn't view it as like an absolute requirement. So keep that in mind, okay? Abdullah says, hey Dennis, I wonder if you have any plans to do live workshop in person or a meet and greet. I haven't been to the US, but we'd be very happy to. Quite honored actually to visit in such cases. Abdullah, that's a great question. That's a really good question. And I've thought about this. I've thought about different ways. I've thought about hosting things here. I've thought about hosting things for executives, executives only. I've thought about going somewhere and doing a meet and greet. But like, where would I do it? Like, you look at my chat. Like, there's so many people from all over. Like, where would I host it? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough question. Right now, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But yes, I have thought about this, and at some point, you know, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. It's a good question. A good question. But right now, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. You know, I think I'm still providing value to all of you guys, right? Because I still want to do that. I still want to keep growing. There's some membership goals or follower goals that I want to meet. There's some sponsorship goals I want to meet, right? I mean, I'd like to get some sponsorship behind this, and then I also have my own personal goals. I have my own personal health and other pursuits that I want to do. So that's in the mix somewhere. If you guys have other ideas, let me know in the chat, right? I mean, as it stands now, if I was going to do a meet and greet, I'd probably have to do it somewhere in Northern Africa or something, right? Because that's where a lot of my viewers are concentrated, or maybe something in India, or maybe something here in the US. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to see. But thanks for the question. Rahul says, thank you. You're welcome. Just trying to provide as much information as I can. Lord M77 says, I'm from Sudan. Okay, cool. Welcome. Did you ask me a question previously, Lord? I don't think so. Okay. Well, welcome, Lord M. Gamudisa says, how would you choose the DS specialization like neural networks or NLP or LLMs, etc.? I'm fairly new to the field. You're going to have to just try it. There's really no way to pick ahead of time. You're going to have to just try it and say, okay, let me do a couple of neural network projects. Let me work a couple of NLP projects. Let me work a couple of computer vision projects. Let me work some signal processing projects, right? And just try them, right? And keep in mind, not all of those are mutually exclusive, right? A good number of NLP projects are also neural network projects, right? Most NLP problems can be solved with neural networks. They're used in a different way, different inputs and additional inputs. But NLP is also neural networks, right? So it's not like they're going to be always mutually exclusive. You're not going to be so siloed as you might be in other things. But you're just going to have to try it. Yeah? Just going to have to try it. There's really not a lot of ways to do that, okay? So General Johnstone says, I am from Sangli, India. Welcome. I think it's your first time, so welcome. Akash says, hi, I'm Akash from Bangalore, India, and I'm currently working as an associate research analyst and have a bachelor's degree in information science and engineering. Very cool. Very cool. What kind of research? Like academic or for a company, medical? I'm curious. Let us know if you're comfortable with that, Akash. I'm curious to know. So T-Tall has just said they were on the East Coast and they said DC Metro. Okay, T-Tall, that's not 100% accurate. I don't know if you know this or not, but plenty of people in the US would be offended that you said you were from the East Coast. DC is not the East Coast. DC is the Mid-Atlantic region, sir. So, yeah. Just say you're from DC. What are you? You work for the CIA or something? You're undercover? Nobody cares. We're just sharing the city that you're from, okay? Akash says, I was thinking of pursuing a master's in data science in the USA. Was just curious about the prerequisites or foundation requirements for masters in data science, especially in mathematics and statistics. It depends. This is something I haven't really thought a lot about. And my initial gut reaction to you is to tell you that it depends on the program and their curriculum. Because some of them will give you an intro or, like a, I don't want to say intro, but like a base level statistics course. Others won't. So it depends on the curriculum you pick. You know, for me, I was fortunate. My graduate studies were in applied statistics, and the very first course was an applied statistics course. I don't think that was a requirement. No, I think it was. I think the curriculum required you to start with that. And I'm really grateful for that, because that gave me a lot of the foundational skills I was going to need for the rest of the program. So check your curriculum. If it doesn't have that, then I would recommend that you seek out some sort of a graduate level statistics or applied statistics course, because I think that's going to give you a good basis. And I say that because you're going to need things like hypothesis testing, z-testing, t-testing, and that's about it, right? You need to walk away with an understanding of those three. And not necessarily how to do exactly all of those, but more like the underlying reasons, right? Like, why are you doing hypothesis testing? You know, like, why does that exist? What numbers go into that? And then you also want to understand, numerical distributions and things like that, right? Like, to me, that's the greatest understanding that I had going into data science studies and after this course was, and this goes for everybody, by the way, right? Your biggest understanding for anything you do in data science is that numbers do not live alone. Numbers are always part of a range, of an average, of a mean, of a distribution, right? Like, to me, that's the scientific approach to numbers. Like, you should never say, oh, okay, the answer is 47, great. Well, I mean, who cares, right? Is that a big number, small number? Is it normally distributed? Is it skewed? Like that's like when you're thinking in those terms, now you're like a data scientist, right? So Akash, that's what I would recommend to you, right? To get your, if your program doesn't require it already or have it, like as a first semester type of thing, get a foundational understanding of applied statistics. And I'm also saying that because that should give you enough of the math, because I know you also asked about the math, right? I don't see a huge need for a dedicated math course, as a prep for it, because you're probably going to get some along the way. But the applied statistics should give you enough to, get you going. Okay? Felipe, let us know where you're from, okay? Casual Economist, our good friend, is back. Casual Economist says, the meet and greet should be in Minneapolis. So for those of you who don't know, Casual Economist is in Minneapolis. So this is what us professional data scientists call a biased view. So he's slightly biased, right? So if you guys want to sound like a professional data scientist that knows what he's doing, this is what's known as a biased entry in the data. That's funny. Islam, I think it's your first time here. Welcome. I am from Jordan. I learned Python. It's super easy, but my environment is pushing me away from my way most of the time. I delayed doing my to-do list. Also, I learned JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and feel lost. No project about them. Yeah, but you feel lost because you don't know how to use these tools, right? So guys, we keep on coming back to this, and that's okay, because I love repeating this message because it's an important message. When you start talking about JavaScript, CSS, Python, neural networks, Keras, whatever, those are tools. They're not a methodology. They're not a process. They're not, and quite frankly, they're not data science, right? You're a mechanic with a very nice, big, shiny toolbox, but no mechanic skills, right? Here, let me get some of my tools. As I tell you guys, I love having my own tools, and I have this massive toolbox next to me. So you have this. Right, this is one of my socket sets, and I have like I have like a lot of these, you know, like I have a lot more in my toolbox. You have this, but you don't know how to use these, right? That's why the projects don't come, because you don't know how to put all of these together and make them work, right? So my advice to you is to focus on the methodology. Like, why would you do data science? What is a data science project and what isn't a data science, right? Otherwise, you just have a nice, shiny toolbox. You know, I have a big toolbox, by the way. It's right next to me. It's just off camera. But it's worthless if you don't know how to use these, right? So take the time to step back and figure out what data science is, right? The methodology behind it. And I might write that book, by the way. That's another project I have on my list. You know, when people ask me about the meetups and stuff, I got other things I want to write too. But that's why the projects aren't coming, because you don't understand how to use those tools, right? I know that for a lot of you, like, oh, I took this CSS course on Coursera and I learned about neural networks. Like, I know that feels like progress, right? But they're just tools. They're just tools. You don't know how to do them until, you know, you actually use them. All right, guys, hold on a second. Come on, man. What's wrong with people today? Give me just a second, guys. Did that? Oh, come on. Did that not? Oh. I think that might have stopped it. Man, that's so disappointing, guys. Come on. Guys, come on. So disappointing when that happens. All right, I think that stopped it, and I think... Did I lose my Instagram, people, or is my live still going? Can somebody let me know if my Instagram is still going? I think I'm still live. Oh, come on. Man. Give me just a second, guys. So disappointing. All right, Akash says I'm still live. Casual Economist, I'll switch the IG and mod. Thanks, Casual Economist, but the thing is that modding on Instagram is such a pain. Great, the knucklehead who's spamming me just told me that I'm still live. That's not good, is it? And I hate that I have to interrupt everybody for this. Sorry, guys. All right, you're going on my block list. All right, so that should stop it, and I should still be live on Instagram. All right, so I think we can still continue there. Somebody please let me know if my Instagram is still live. I think I'm still okay there. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys have never streamed on Instagram, they don't make it easy. They don't have persistent stream keys. and they don't have persistent mods. So you have to name a mod for every single stream you do, which is really a pain in the butt. So anyway, okay, thanks, Akash. I can see that. Okay, thank you so much, Akash. All right, sorry for the interruption, guys. That's so unprofessional. Really hate that. Really frustrates me, guys. I mean, really frustrates me. Yeah, let me keep on going down the chat here. Rahul, our good friend Rahul says, hi, Dennis, was busy for a few days. Yeah, we missed you, Rahul. Yeah, but you're such a great supporter, man. I know you come to the Sunday classes. Thanks so much for that. Really good to see you back, my friend. Hope you're doing well out there. I know you told me you live up in the mountainous parts of India, so I hope it's not too cold for you. Thanks, Dennis, for your advice on don't chase the money, chase the passion. I gave it time to self-reflect, and yeah, I got your advice loud and clear. All right, cool. Yeah, you know, just think about it, you know? It's just something I really believe in, right? Because I've seen it work in my life, right? So that's why I like to, you know, give that advice to other people also. All right, so let me skip down here. So Tital asks, all right, Tital, the CIA agent asks, is a data engineer the same as a data scientist? I just stumbled upon one of your videos the other day and subscribed. I haven't had a chance to go back and really watch. I have a lot to learn. Well, the CIA will teach you this. Why are you asking me? Don't you have like the best instructors in the CIA? Is a data engineer the same as a data scientist? No, it's not. So typically speaking, a data engineer works on acquiring data and preparing it for the data science team, right? So you know, when you hear like data engineer and data pipelines or data pipeline design, that's the same, right? Where they're pulling from databases from different sources, you know, gathering the data, transforming it, and essentially putting it in a state that will be usable by the data science team, you know, and then they'll take it there for modeling or analytics or things like that, right? So no, they are not the same. However, and I've done content on this before, and I'm happy to repeat it because I know that you guys, you know, there's a lot of new people. Try to not get too caught up in these silos of these titles that you hear, right? Two reasons. One, data science teams aren't that big, guys. They're not that big. You know, most teams are going to be like 4 or 5 people. So, you know, don't get caught up in social media that says, oh, you got to be a data engineer so you can help the other people. Well, there might only be 2 other people, right? And then the data scientist gets sick. So now they want you to fill in on the modeling side. Or you might be a team that doesn't have a dedicated visualization person. That's very common. Visualization is usually the last thing people hire for. So you might have to do your own visualizations even though you're a data scientist, right? So don't get too caught up in that. And the second reason you didn't want to get caught up in that is because that's how you serve your team better, right? Like you're helping your manager, you're helping your company if you can say, yeah, I'm a data engineer, but I can also do modeling. You want me to fill in? You know, you want me to help on this other project? You know, be flexible, right? So I'm still developing this thought. But, you know, my hope for all of you is that you would think of yourselves as data professionals. That's it. You're a data professional. You want me to do pipelines? I can do pipelines. You want me to do modeling? I got you. You want me to do visualizations? No problem. Right? I mean, that's really how you're going to be expected to work. Because again, the teams aren't that big, guys. I've shared this story. But again, because a lot of you are new, I had dinner with a good friend. He was coming to my city. He invited me to go to dinner. We went to this great steakhouse. He's the head of innovation, runs a data science team at one of the largest companies in the U.S. I don't want to name the company, because I don't want you, looking him up on LinkedIn or anything. But I guarantee you, he works in a position in a company that you guys would Absolutely love to work for him, right? Good guy. And his whole team is 10 people. All right? Like, and that's like at a big financial company. So, guys, the teams aren't that big. So, if you're, and I'm using that as a big example. At most other companies, still very big companies, but, not quite like, to that level, you're going to be 4 or 5 people, 3 people, 3 people and no visualization guy, or 3 people and there's no data engineer, right? So don't get too siloed in that. Just start thinking of yourselves as data professionals. Okay? T-Tall says, I'm a federal employee. Yes, you said DC. I mean, what else are you going to do in DC? I'm a federal employee. My agency has an initiative encouraging us to gain data science skills. Very good, very common. My supervisor has enrolled me in a very basic intro to data visualization. That's a good place to start. Good place to start. You're going to want to build on that, right? Because, data visualization isn't exactly data science, but it'll get you working around data. It'll get you thinking about what data means to you. And also, quite frankly, a lot of problems can be solved with analytics, right? Because, visualization is kind of like the early step to analytics, right? And a lot of problems in the world can be solved with analytics. So I think you're on the right track there. An initiative encouraging us to gain data science skills. Yeah, very common. Lots of places have that nowadays at all levels. Right? So yeah, good for you. Good for you. Very, very, very common thing. Hey, Casual Economist, thanks so much for letting me know you're in IG. Yeah, I need to figure out a strategy for moderators on IG. So thanks for giving me your IG name. I'm going to keep it in mind. Yeah, let me think about it. But I obviously I do need a strategy for IG. So disappointing, Rahul says, it's not really cold. We mountain people are strong. All right, cool. I love that. I love that attitude, Rahul. Nice positive attitude. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We didn't even get to the AI study. We'll save the AI study for tomorrow. I guess we just got too caught up in the questions. There were some really good questions today. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the new people that are showing up. Thank you so much for that. Apologies for the spam message. I'm really disappointed in that. But thank you so much. Really grateful for all of your support. And just really good questions today, And you know what? This is why I like doing the lives, because I never know what you guys are going to show up with, right? So I welcome the questions. Thank you so much. 1500 GMT every day. We'll do the AI study tomorrow. I still think that's going to make for a great session. Would love to hear your feedback. That's going to be a really interactive session. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Again, September 11th is a special date. So, in remembrance of that, I do want to acknowledge that. But I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And I'll see you next time.